Hello, receiving teachers and students, and 6E. Thank you. You may be seated, please. Let's go straight to our last lesson. In your last lesson, you talked about plastic and elastic. Can someone tell me what you learned about plastic and elastic? When force is applied to the both of those substances, a plastic substance and an elastic substance. Melisha, good, thank you.
It's an elastic.
It's an elastic. Okay. Anything else that you want to say about elastic when you apply force? When force is applied in an elastic substance or in a plastic substance? Yes, Madhu?
Elastic is stretchable.
Very good. Elastic is stretchable. Thank you. And, sorry, inelastic and elastic. In elastic, it is stretchable. Inelastic is unstretchable. So, for example, we have a rubber band, which is elastic. So when you stretch it, it returns back to its original form or its original length. So inelastic, when you stretch it, it cannot return back to its original length after you remove the force. All right. So today we'll be looking at part of that. And in our lesson, today we'll be looking at measuring force. So receiving students and class, measuring force. I have here in front of me some instruments that I brought with me. Let's have a look at the first one. On the left, we have here is an electronic scale. This is an electronic scale. This is a mechanical scale, which is used in the kitchen. This is also a mechanical scale. And we have an instrument here, which is the spring balance. It is a tubular spring balance because it is in a tube shape. And we have here a spring balance also, but it is a rectangular shape. All right. Now, how do we measure force? What we are going to find out today is how is force measured. But how is force measured using these instruments here that I have brought? Is there any other instruments you think of that can measure force, apart from the ones I brought here in front here? Anyone? Can you think of one, receiving students? Is there any other instrument used to measure force? All right. Maybe you can find out later and tell us in our next lesson. But we'll go ahead and see which of these instruments that I have brought can help you measure force. Robert, to tell us.
Spring balance.
The spring balance. Two types of spring balance. A rectangular shaped spring balance. And we have the tubular spring balance. This is the tubular spring balance. All right, but what makes it easy for us to measure it? What makes it really easy for us? How do we measure it using this? What makes it easy for us to measure? So this is your activity. Let's read the instruction at the top. Together? Read the instruction at the top. There are 5 features that I want you to identify from the instrument that Robert named, which is the spring balance. So they are 1, hook, the pointer, the spring, the scales, and the unit. So, group leaders, come up to the front and take a spring balance. One is for your group. Once you take your instrument, you start off straight away. Was it? Some have not. Have you identified where those things are? And what it does. Where is the hook? Okay, what does it do? Okay, you stop writing. It's just right. Have you listed what does it do? Where's the hook? Where is the pointer? And where is the spring? Where is the scale? What do they do? Come on. Talk, discuss, and write it down because you don't understand. Where is your pointer? Where's your pointer? Not your finger, I'm talking about the spring balance. Pointer or the marker. Okay, good. Now what does it do? Okay, good. Now have you listed that down? Not yet, you're still writing it. List it down quickly. Don't play with it. You haven't listed it down, have you? Have you identified all the 5 features of them? You're weighing it. Are you asked to weigh it or identify the features? You don't weigh it, you identify the features. Then you can try out. You can weigh it after you identify the features and whatever. But right now, you haven't written anything. Yeah, what does this one do? What is, first, where's the first feature is the hook. Where's the hook? Where's the pointer? Where's the pointer? Pointer or the marker on the spring balance, where is he? Now once you have listed down the 5 features, you are to write what it does or what you do with it or what it does in when you use a spring balance. I'll give you 2 more minutes. That is a very quick job for you to do. Good. A group has almost completed the tree. You're going to spoil your eye with the colored vinyl. Very good. Some are writing what they have discussed. You have a minute and a half left. What does it do in a spring balance? So we're writing it down. I didn't know what it does. And then from there, I stop out. Yes. Any question? Which one? Scale. Scale is like scale is what will I eat. Which one is the scale? That's what I'm asking. Which one is the scale? Which one is the hook? Okay, put it down. Which is the hook? Okay, what does the hook do? Hook scales. hold. Okay, good. Now, where is the pointer? Okay, that's the pointer. What does it do? And where is the spring? Okay, so what does it do? Right. Now, you identified all of them, so where is the units? Okay, what are the units? What are the units for length? What are the units for volume? So what is the unit? What is the unit? These are the, what do we say, the quantity or the weight. These are just numbers. So what is the units? What is the units when you measure length? Units kind of labels. What is the unit? So you have like ruler here. You have what do you use? Centimeter. Okay, here what? Okay, good. Yes. Now, where do you think the scales are? What are the scales? Good. That's it. So write what is that? Write it down. All right, our time is almost up for your activity. All right, let's have the first person to identify when you hold up your spring balance, your instrument, you show the class where the feature of the spring balance that you are talking about is. You point to it and tell us what it is and what it does. So we have 5 of them: the hook, the pointer, the spring, and the scale, finally the units. All right, let's have the first one from this group here. The first one is the hook. Okay, there are 2 kinds of spring balance we have looking at. So we will look at the rectangular one first. So point out where the hook is.
This the hook. It holds the object.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that explanation. Second group, show us where the pointer is.
The pointer shows the weight of the object.
Thank you, very good for your group who have discussed and found the pointer on the spring balance. Let's have the third group who will tell us about the scale and the units on the rectangular spring balance.
Scale show what the reading is.
Okay. What about the units? What is the units on that?
Units are numbers that show the actual reading.
Okay? Yes? Do you agree? Madhu? Or Caro? What do you think? Thank you, boys, for the answer. What do you think about the answer?
Units.
Okay, units. What is units?
Tells what to measure weight. Tells what the weight is measured.
Measuring.
What about the scale?
Measure the weight of an object. Measure the weight of
Okay. Okay, Oa. All right, thank you, Carol. Oa. Oa. Show us where the hook and the pointer of the spring, tubular spring balance.
This is the pointer. Turning. This is the pointer that shows us the numbers.
Very good, thank you for that. We'll have Emmanuel's group to tell us where the spring is identified in the...
This is a spring. It helps stretches the pointer so we can read the actual weight.
Very good, thank you. The next group, tell us where the scale and the spring is. The unit. Show us what the scale and the unit is.
Scale helps us to read the weight of an object.
All right, where is the unit? Show us where the units are. Are you sure? Okay.
Grams.
And the scales? Okay, good. All right, let's have a look at this one. Thank you, all of you, for giving your answers and receiving students for your answers too. Thank you. Let's have a look at the scale here on the board. Firstly, let's have a look at the pointer, at the hook. This is the hook. If you have identified correctly the hook is used to hold the weight and the force, or which is the weight, holds the weight. So this is the hook. Our pointer is on the rectangular spring balance is this little pin that comes out of the surface. That is the pointer. This marks out the value of the amount of force that is applied by the object. And the spring, if we open up the spring balance, we have the spring in the spring balance here. This is the spring. So when you stretch, when a weight is applied, the spring stretches. And the last one we have is the scale. These are the scales, the small lines that you see along with the value or the digit value that is numbered on the side are the scales. And the unit is the one that is written at the top. Sometimes in other instruments you find it at the bottom, but for the spring balance you see it at the top. Your homework question: why is it that you cannot use a rubber band in a spring balance? All right. So, In one sentence, what can you say about the spring balance and force? Vanessa? In one sentence. In one sentence, tell me about spring balance and force. Robert, thank you.
The spring balance helps us to know the weight of the object holds.
Very good. Thank you for that answer. We can say that spring balance also can be used to measure force. Our key word for today is spring balance. And our next lesson will be on how much force. Teachers, you are again required to bring this material, spring balance. With that, thank you, class. Thank you, receiving teachers and students. Thank you very much. You may sit down.